Hello, everyone, and welcome here to Luella High School, just south of McDonough, for this crucial match. It's the playoffs, everybody. It's what everybody starts for at the beginning of the season. It's a quarterfinal of this Georgia Premier Conference UPSL between Georgia Revolution and Potros FC. These two teams met in the first match of this fall season. Georgia Revolution coming away 2-1 winners in that match up in Marietta. And now they host Potros, who finished as the 6th seed, and Georgia Revolution as the 3rd seed. Something to think about for Revolution fans, at least, is the Revolution have not won a playoff game in the UPSL. This is their 3rd straight year, 3rd straight season, I should say, in the playoffs. But in the first year in Division 1, they lost their first round match as the 2 seed to FC Birmingham 2 in penalties. That match went 90 minutes plus overtime and went to penalties. And unfortunately, Georgia Revolution came out on the wrong side of that. And in the spring season this year, they finished as the last seed and had to travel up to Dalton, where they were dismantled. This is now their 3rd chance to see if they'll get over the hump this time. This time, for their first time in the Premier Division, being the favor seed. As Lane Scarrett's going to get us underway. Well, storylines for Potros is they're missing their 2 starting center backs. We'll see how that affects them. Plus, they have a new coach debuting in his first match in a playoff. We'll see how that turns out as we are underway now as Lewis Green gets on it for the Revolution. Sends it over the top. Trying to find Rose. That's going to be a Potros throw. It was Dadinho for Potros missing out as Luke Charles gets ahead. And now Ricky Martinez. He slides it over to Alik Scarrett. Alik decides to send it back to Lewis Green. Lewis Green's very deadly on those long passes. That time it doesn't go through. As now Potros is in the box. That's Mattis. And the Revolution get it back now. Alik Scarrett clears it out, trying to get it to his twin. But it still falls to the Revolution as Martinez gets it. Now Alik Scarrett. And that's a foul. Revolution free kick now. So it goes over the top. Shamar Palmer was there. But it's going to go out as Newman fights for it now over Matisse. Lima. Now he gets it over to... Oh, and it's going to be taken off the foot by Lewis Green. Now Martinez. Green now on the ball for the Revolution. So he's trying to find Palmer. Palmer trying to head it over to Scarrett. Scarrett commits the foul. Free kick, Potros. Trying to find Lima on the outside, but Marley Stevenson's there for the Georgia Revolution. He's going to let that one go out for a throw. That one's chested away by Daniel Rohr. But it falls back to the Revolution. Luke Charles as he gets it out to Corona. Corona over to Rose. Rose scored 5 seconds into the game last week against Soccer Saves Lives. Now Martinez. That was a hard touch by Palmer. Oh, and Christian Corona almost steals that. And now Didinho. Tried to get it over. Marley Stevenson's there. And now Rose has a chance to run. But it's picked up there by Alan Hernandez, defending for Potros as he gets it to Cam Verona. Hernandez again. He finds EJ. EJ again. Going over to Lima. Lewis Green's the last chance for the Revs, and he's going to get there in time. He just taps it back to Joshua Ward. Ward goes over back to Green, and Green finally clears it out of there. But it fell to Greenberg. Witten, former Georgia Revolution player for Potros now, on the ball. And Marley Stevenson steals that one away. That was Daniel War again. Now he gets over to Mattis. It's Joel Brown for Potros right in front. Somehow Didinho was not offside, but luckily Josh Ward was there. That's not what you want for the Revolution. That was too easy for Potros. Lewis Green again. To scare it, but that ball's going to go out. It's going to be a throw. A little lack of concentration there. Hernandez for Potros. Aaron Witten. So over to Lima. Lima finds Mattis. It's going to fall through again as Ward's going to pick it up for the Revolution. Over the top, trying to find Scarrett. That one's going to go out of bounds. Potros throw. Verona, also a former Georgia Revolution player. Verona and Witten are local to this area, Henry County. They both now live up north of the city. That's why they play for Potros. Rose was fouled. And it's going to be a little dangerous opportunity here for the Revolution. It's like Shamar Palmer for the Revolution is going to take this. As you remind, we do have Luke Charles today. Luke Charles and Lewis Green, both very dangerous set-piece weapons for the Revolution. Palmer sends it in back post towards Luke Charles. Luke Charles heads it in, but it's going to go out. Hernandez. Trying to find Didinho, but Luke Charles is there. And he just clears that one out. Potros throw. He gives it off to EJ for the throw. Finds Lima. Lima heads it back to Didinho. And I guess free kick for Potros there. At least a high kick, I think. Witten gives it off to EJ, and he goes back to Hernandez. Lane Scarrett tried to split it there, almost got there. Now Potros goes long, trying to find Didino. Not quite that time, but you can see that's what Potros wants to do. They already found Didino once, right at the penalty spot. Somehow he snuck away. As Ward hands this one off to Charles. Charles finds Rose. Rose gets pushed off the ball as Roar gives it back to Witten. Hernandez gives it back to Van Berskirk. Didino tries to slide it through, but Lewis Green read that perfectly and clears it out. But it's back in Potros. Lewis Green steps again. Lewis Green playing great defense here. Now Shamar Palmer. Gives it to Elaine Scarrett. Elaine taking his space. Gives it off to Corona. Corona finds Palmer. Goes over top for Elaine. And Hernandez read that one perfectly also. A lot of good defensive reads so far in the beginning of this match. As now Rose is fighting. Rose fouls EJ. Good little battles going on all over the pitch tonight, as you should expect with a playoff match. Daniel Roar. Hernandez has to get that one out quickly. Luke Charles is there, but it falls right in front of Dino. But Casey Newman got stepped on. No call. Casey Newman was there. As Ward goes long, trying to find Corona, but that falls to EJ. And now Witten. Witten goes outside of the foot, but it's defended well by Luke Charles. Marley Stevenson put a foot in, and it almost fell to Mattis. Potros' team was the last regular season match of the spring season for the Revolution last year. And Mattis was in that match and just absolutely picked apart the Revolution in that match. Someone to watch for. That ball stolen by a leak Scarrett. And it's won right back by Potros. Shamar Palmer heads that into the middle. Corona settles it, but it's stolen again. Time they try to go long to Lima, but Marley Stevenson's going to get on it first for the Revolution. Stevenson still with it. He gets it to Martinez. Martinez makes his turn. He's got Shamar Palmer running up top. He gets it to him. Goes long to Rose. And Daniel Roar was there for Potros FC, and that was vital because if he hadn't gotten a foot on that, Matthew Rose was streaking back post. Hernandez. Now Stevenson gets it for the Revolution. See, hits it back to Ward. Ward clears it long, but he's got to get back. Ricky Martinez stepped really good there as Ward came off his line, had to run back. Had Ricky not stuck his foot out there, they might have taken a shot. That was very smart IQ by Ricky Martinez for the Georgia Revolution. Could be a Potros throw. The sun is going down here at Luella High School. And it's supposed to get drastically colder. We'll see if that affects the two teams. Back underway as Van Berskirk gets it to Hernandez, who gives it to Witten. Now EJ. Roar gives it back to Van Buskirk. Over to Hernandez. Mattis. Like I said, he was dangerous in the spring season, and he almost was again there. Lewis Green stepped the foot in. Now Luke Charles. Be a free kick for the Revolution as Lima commits the foul. That ball goes long. Trying to find Palmer. Ricky Martinez to Newman. Back to Newman. Now Marley Stevenson. Looking for options. He's going to find Corona. Corona dinks it, hoping that Rose was going to make that run, but he didn't. Lima gets pushed off the ball. Now Rose and Lima. Lima wins that, but it's picking off his feet, and it's getting really physical out there right now. Both teams going at each other. It's what makes playoff soccer so amazing. Van Buskirk. Back to Verona. Green. Now Witten had it. He gives it. And it's taken away. He's on. Oh, no. Elaine Scarrett was offside. Ref has to make a conversation there with Elaine, as Elaine did not think he was offside. Threw the ball down. Now the ref's got to have a conversation. Can't let your emotions get the best of you. Van Buskirk. It's over to Hernandez. Rose intercepts that, but it falls right to Lima. Still with Lima. Takes a shot. Ward is there for the save as he tries to go quickly to Stevenson on the outside. And that ball goes out. Potros wanted to go quick. It's another one of those soccer IQ things, as Marley Stevenson stepped in front of it when they were trying to get the ball back to the thrower. And that slowed that down now. Buskirk. Ricky Martinez stole that away, but Potros gets it right back as Witten was running with it. And Lewis Green finally clears it out, but not to a Revolution player, as Mattis is on it for Potros. And Ricky Martinez commits the foul here. Hernandez back to Mattis. Aleek Scarrett gets it over to Palmer. Palmer heads it back down to Newman. Oh, miscommunication there. And you can't have that kind of communication there, as Newman thought Green called for it, but he didn't. And that allowed Didinho to get on it. Luckily, it doesn't hurt the Revolution there, but you can't have those kind of miscommunications, especially not at this time of year in the playoffs. 18 minutes in. Potros has the better of the chances. Cam Verona, the goalkeeper for Potros, hasn't really had to touch the ball tonight. But Joshua Ward's already had to make a couple saves. Now, Buskirk has it for Potros as he gets it over to Hernandez. That's going to fall to Scarrett. Scarrett gets it. He's got Rose on the outside. He finds Rose. Onside. And that's going to fall to Verona. As Hernandez is down on the other side of that play. Verona with the ball for Potros now after the drop ball. Taking his time. We're in the 20th minute. Still 0-0. Joel Brown gets intercepted by Newman, and now Christian Corona has it as he goes back to Alik Scarrett. Alik Scarrett tries to go long, but Greenberg there for Potros. And that's a bad pass as now Rose gets it for the Revolution. He's got Ricky running with him. Ricky gets pushed off the ball there. It's good recovery. And Corona with a great slide tackle. Gets it back. Gets it over to Palmer. Palmer over to Rose. Rose takes a shot, and it's saved by Verona. Probably the best sequence that the Revs have put through so far. As Corona is being a menace in the midfield right now for the Georgia Revolution. Palmer for the Revolution. Scarrett tried to find Rose. Was intercepted by Van Buskirk. Tries to go across to Lima. That's picked off, but it's going to fall to Hernandez. Marley Stevenson picks that off. Gets it off to Elaine Scarrett. Elaine goes long to Stevenson. Oh, he can't keep it in. Gets stuck under his foot. And it's going to go for a Potros throw. Revs are starting to crank it up now. First 20 minutes, Potros really had command of the match. But now that we've gotten further in, the Revs are starting to settle in and string a couple passes together. Daniel Rohr is intercepted by Lewis Green. So he tries to get that to Scarrett. It's going to go off, and Green's still with it. He goes wide to Palmer. Palmer into the box. Cuts it back. Sends it across. Lewis Green was there. Verona was able to get a hand on it and deflect it away, and luckily for him, it didn't get into the path of a Revolution player. Is now Potros on the counter. Joel Brown somehow keeps that in. Remember, Lewis Green went up on that attack. And now Joshua Ward's going to grab it for the Revolution. Somehow Joshua Ward walked out of the box with the ball in his hand. That's another lapse on the Revolution. Another bad mistake. Dangerous opportunity for Potros off the mental lapse by Joshua Ward. Now Daniel Rohr. Have a great opportunity here. Goes wide. And it's deflected out. Revs did a good job defending that one. And the mistake doesn't come back to hurt him yet. Van Buskirk for Potros. Gonna take a shot himself, and that one bounces in front of Ward. That one kind of knuckled on him, but he was able to push it down in the ground and keep it from going in, as now he gives it to Luke Charles. Charles goes back to Ward. Ward goes over to Green. Green goes long. Nobody's there for the Revs, though. Revs now going back to the press. Hernandez gets it over to EJ. And now Lima. Back to Mattis. Van Buskirk. Going across to Mattis. Trying to chip over to Lima. But Luke Charles was there. Potros is settling things down, keeping a string of possession together here. Gets over to Greenberg. Greenberg can't handle that hop. It's going to be a revolution throw. Newman. Get it to Stevenson. Stevenson versus Witten. Stevenson holds it back, gives it to Rose. Rose finds Corona into the box. Centered! Nobody's there for the Revolution, as now that's a foul. So Rose was pushed in the back by Lima, and now the Revs get their own dangerous opportunity here. See if they can take advantage of it, unlike Potros. This one's not as close. Sometimes that's a little better. Lewis Green and Shamar Palmer. This is different. Usually Lewis Green's one of the weapons at the end of the cross. See what they do here. Lewis Green takes the shot. Goal! Lewis Green off the direct free kick. And that is Lewis Green's third goal in 2 matches. As he creeps up the goal-scoring ladder, he's going to catch Martine pretty soon.
Georgia Revolution goals brought to you by number 3, Lewis Green.
That was spectacular. And your Georgia Revolution in the 28th minute now lead 1-0. We're back underway now as the Dino sends it back to Van Buskirk for Potros. Potros got to try to get back into this now. It's going to be a Revolution throw. Stevenson taking it for the Revolution. Trying to get it to Scarrett. Somehow that stays in. Corona has it. Gets it over to Martinez. Martinez wide to Palmer, and this could be another dangerous opportunity for the Revolution. Takes another shot, but Verona's there for that one. I don't think there was much Verona could have done on that free kick by Green. He put it in the absolute best spot. So he rolls it over to Hernandez. First match between these two teams in the first game of this fall season was also very closely contended. It was a very miserable rainy day. That's going to fall out for a Potros throw. EJ taking the throw for Potros. Gets it over to Witten. Witten chips it over the top, hoping Dedinho was there. This time Ward was there. Luke Charles finds Elaine Scarrett. Elaine tried to tip it over to Marley, and he does. But there's going to be a foul committed by Lima. Lima's got to be careful here. He's the one who committed the foul that led to the goal. Lewis Green clears that. Tries to head it up to Elaine Scarrett. Elaine was there, but it was taken off. Now Palmer's got it, and he tried to give it back to Corona. But the refs still have it. That's a leak Scarrett running with it into the corner. Trying to find his way out. He's pushed over. No foul called. Now Dedinho has it for the Revolution, or the Potros, excuse me. Still has it. Now gets it off to Mattis. Mattis finds Lima. The refs got to get back. Lima finds Witten. Witten dribbles in. Marley Stevenson stepped in front of that and almost gets it to Elaine Scarrett. But Hernandez is there. Potros with it again in a dangerous area. Lima tries to dribble around, and he does. But Ricky Martinez comes from behind and steals that. Matthew Rose just clears that out of danger. Potros right back in. Lima going across. Newman's there. Now Corona. Corona over to Aleek Scarrett. It was a great slide by Greenberg. Now Brown. So over back to Greenberg. Now Mattis. Dedinho. Taken off his feet by Newman. It's it over to Elaine Scarrett. Revolution throw. After the completion of this match, you'll get another playoff match tonight between Dalton and FC Birmingham. It's Newman picks that off as Shamar. Shamar tries to find Elaine. Elaine gave up on the run. Oh, had he not given up on that run, he might have been in on goal. You need to maintain your focus all times, especially in the playoffs. It's a different animal now. As we said earlier, it's a new season, basically. Everybody's got a clean slate, except you just can't lose now. As Marley Stevenson chests that over to Ward. Ward goes long to Rose. Rose over to Stevenson. Now Martinez. Martinez trying to find his way out. Almost gets out, but it goes to Newman. Newman over to Charles. Now Green. Trying to go over the top to Palmer. Greenberg's there. For Potros. It's going to be a Revolution throw. As now they go to Martinez. Charles. Charles goes long to Palmer. Palmer's by himself. Goes back post. Rose! Oh, Rose was there. He couldn't connect. Back post. Ball just went right over his foot. But that's what you want for the Revs. Now EJ for Potros. Goes back to Daniel Rohr. Now back to Verona. Buskirk gets it over to Brown. That one's intercepted by Corona. He dips it over the top, trying to get it to scare it. It falls. Buskirk went down there. Draws the foul. As we're back underway, Mattis. Potros. It's over to Dino. It's intercepted. Surely that's got to be a foul. But it's not called. Now Rose. It's getting really physical out there. Buskirk clears that, but it goes to Newman. Newman with the revolution. It's it over to Palmer. Palmer tries to slot in Martinez. But Hernandez was there for the Potros as they recycle it back to Verona. And Verona gets it out to Brown, but he turns it over to Martinez. Palmer chips it again. Rose is there again. But Verona came out that time. .36-minute, Revs leading 1-0 in this UPSL Georgia Premier Conference quarterfinal match. And that ball is kicked out by Mattis, as now Stevenson takes the throw for the Revolution. He finds Martinez. Back to Stevenson. Stevenson finds Green. Green to Palmer, but it's Aaron Witten was there. Gets a toe poke on it. Unfortunately, that's going to fall out of bounds for another Revolution throw. Alik Scarrett taking this one for the Revolution. Ball is in. Corona can't keep it on his feet. And now Mattis. Over to Lima. Lima backheels it to EJ. Luke Charles gets that one out, and it's going to fall for Stevenson. Stevenson's got some room. As it's dispossessed by Mattis. That was great there by Mattis. Great tackle. And Corona clears that one out, but it's going to be a Potros throw. Trying to find Lima, but Stevenson's there. Now Charles. Charles decides to recycle it back to Ward. Ward goes long. Trying to find Martinez, but Daniel Rohr was there. Shamar Palmer cleans up the second ball. Gets it right to the feet of Elaine Scarrett. But great defending there by Hernandez. That's going to be a Potros throw. It's great positioning by Hernandez. So Lane Scarrett had put right on his feet. Hernandez stepped in front and was able to take it right back off. So EJ is going to take this throw for Potros. Trying to find Lima. Didn't go off that time as Marley kicks it up. Ref blows his whistle. It's going to be a free kick for Potros. Verona. Lewis Green steps to that one. Now Rose for the Revolution. Oh, tried to get it to Palmer, but Van Buskirk's there. Gotta say, Danino tries to flick it to himself, but Charles fights it off. Say, with Potros missing their center backs, they're doing a great job of filling in. As Mates finds Lima, but Lewis Green is there as Ward picks it up. Goes quickly to Martinez. Martinez over to Corona. Still has it. Newman. He finds Palmer. Very crisp passing now from the Revolution. Until there, Witten intercepts that for Potros. Say the last, like I said earlier in the match, Revolution have lost their last 3 playoff matches. As Witten flicks it over to Lima. Lima gets on it. And now it's fought off again by Lewis Green, putting in a man of the match performance. But the last time that the Revolution won a playoff match was 2023 MPSL Southeast Conference semifinals. And Aaron Witten, who's playing for Potros right now, scored the game winner for the Revolution in that match. Revolution would go on to lose the Southeast Conference final to Apotheos, who went on to the national final that year. And since then, oh, there's a wicked deflection. Lima's going to pick this one up for Potros. He tries to flick it again, and Marley Stevenson's going to foul him. Potros trying to get a sense of urgency. EJ sends it in for Potros. Loose screen's there for the Revolution. Gets it to Corona's feet. Corona tips it past Greenberg, and now he's on it. And Lane Scarrett's offside. But Verona clears that, but it doesn't go out of bounds. Stevenson has it. Lane Scarrett was offside there. Luckily, he didn't touch it. Now the Revs retain possession. Gets it over to Green. Rose, who switched sides now.
And we'd like to thank all of our amazing sponsors, the Sellers Law Firm, Buddy Kelly Properties Inc., State Farm Brian Brakefield Agent, Element Certified Public Accountant and Consultant, Suma Sportswear, Bella's Family's Vision, and I Love McDonough.
43rd minute. Revolution have a free kick. Lewis Green kicks it long. Verona claims that one for Potros. That can't be handled by Greenberg. Revolution throw. That's Corona's by himself in the middle of the pitch. He gets it over to Palmer. Palmer and Rose have switched sides. Palmer a little too hard on that touch, but somehow still retains possession. Goes across to Rose. Rose settles it. And they try to chip it back to Rose. Rose thought he might have been offside, so he stopped after that ball. Another Revolution throw. Ball's in now, trying to find Rose. Greenberg's there with the header for Potros. But now it falls to Ricky Martinez for the Revolution. He gets over to Newman. Newman, a little hard touch, but it creams off him down to Palmer's feet. Palmer gets it over to Elaine. Palmer tries to take it back. Still has it. And Potros clears it out. Lewis Green heads it over to Charles. Charles back to Newman. Newman goes over the top to Elaine Scarrett. Elaine's there. He's taken out. The ref doesn't call anything. Cameron Verona just absolutely clobbers into Elaine Scarrett. I don't think he got the ball. Both players are down right now as that was a hard collision, but the ref said no penalty. I'm not sure how he doesn't call a penalty there. Hopefully Verona's okay. He took the brunt of that. Potros backup keeper, Amar Zonlich. He's getting ready on the side just in case. Cameron Verona's back on his feet now. They're giving him a concussion test real quick. We are in stoppage time now. I'm sure the ref will add a little bit after this.
All of your warm beverage needs. Ship Coffee's located right down underneath the tent, right by the fan.
They're going to give it as... Looks like it's going to be a drop ball here. Back underway as the Revolution have the ball. Gets it over to Luke Charles. Now Stevenson. Dummied it to Alik. Alik backheels it, trying to get it over to Palmer, but Hernandez is there. Now EJ. Ref's pressing hard. Hernandez, just clears that one out. Be a Revolution throw. One minute of stoppage time. What the fourth official says. Goes long. Hernandez gets ahead on that. Gives it over to Danny Rohr. Ball's just bouncing around. Newman gets on it. Now Martinez. Elaine Scarrett goes wide to Palmer. But EJ's going to be there. Shepherds that one out for a goal kick. Ball sent long. Lewis Green's there. Gets it to Martinez, Ooh, tried to get it over the top to Palmer, but Mattis was there to get ahead on it. Now Scarrett gets it over to Rose. Back to a leak Scarrett. Scarrett still on his feet. Tries to go wide to Rose. Rose has it, but has to take it back. Gives it back to Scarrett. Now Rose again. Just can't get away out of that corner for the Revolution as Lewis Green steps to that to clear it out of bounds. Potros throw. We're getting really close to halftime now. Mattis picks it up for Potros. Fighting with Stevenson. And that's going to be halftime. Back and forth battle, but the Revs come out at halftime with the lead off a wonder free kick goal by Captain Lewis Green. We'll be back for the second half very shortly. And we are back here for second half action of this quarterfinal match between the Revolution and Potros. Your Georgia Revolution lead 1-0 after the break. As Potros try to get us started quickly, and Marley Stevenson's there to usher that ball out for a Potros throw. Potros throw it in. Luke Charles puts a head in, and now it's taken away by Corona, but he gives it right back away. Van Buskirk, now Greenberg for Potros. Now Daniel Rohr, and it's intercepted by Newman. Newman tries to get it to Scarrett. Scarrett's held up. Van Buskirk gets it to Danino. Luke Charles clears that out for the Revolution to Scarrett. Scarrett gets it over to Corona. Corona's got Rose running wide. Rose is on it now as he clears it into the center. Almost gives it right back to Lane Scarrett, but it's cleared out by Potros now for a Revolution throw. See if we get a Soggy Hirsch special here.
And remember, at Sellers Law Firm LLC, you are more than just a client, you are family. Sellers Law Firm, proud title sponsor.
Here comes in the throw to Palmer. Palmer flicks it to the penalty spot, trying to find Rose, but it's cleared out by Potros. Now Corona wanted to take a shot, but Newman's still on it for the Revolution. He chips it over to Palmer. Palmer goes in. Oh, Verona's there. He tried to go back post, but Verona snatched it out of the air and sends Lima forward for Potros FC. It's got Didino running with him. Gets it to Witten. Witten with a Rabona flick, but the Revolution intercept it. But Mattis picks it up for Potros. It's over to Buskirk. Goes back to Verona. Verona to Daniel Rohr. It's over to EJ. Trying to outrun Stevenson, and he gets to the outside. But Luke Charles is there for the Revolution to clear that one. It'll be a Potros throw. Witten throws it in for Potros. The ref blows his whistle. Witten. It's over to Rohr. Almost dispossessed by Martinez, but now Buskirk has it. Intercepted by Newman. Greenberg with the throw to Buskirk for Potros. Goes over to Hernandez. Intercepted by Rose, but it's going to go out of bounds for a Potros throw. He finds Mattis. Mattis somehow gets around Stevenson. There's a little impressive footwork there. Now Rohr. Buskirk. Looking for options. Goes to Hernandez. Now Lima. Lima with a soft pass as Scarrett puts the pressure on Buskirk, but they find Brown. It's taken off Brown's feet. Somehow. And it comes off of Shamar Palmer for a Potros throw. Lewis Green intercepts that to Martinez. Martinez gets it over to Scarrett. Scarrett to Palmer. So he takes a touch forward. And he gets it to Martinez. Martinez is in. Gets it to Palmer. Palmer tries to go across. It goes back to him. Chips it to the penalty spot. And it's cleared by EJ. Now Mattis. He loses out to Martinez. He's getting fouled left and right. Looks like Corona's going to take this free kick. Or maybe Palmer. We'll see. All the big weapons are in at the top of the key. See what the Revolution do here. Might be a back post to Lewis Green type of play. Shamar kicks it back post to Green. Green heads it down. But nobody's there as Verona takes it out for the Revolution. As Verona tries to go quickly. And Stevenson's brought down by Danilo. Luke Charles goes deep, trying to find Rose, but it's too short. But it does go back to Rose. He flicks it back to Corona. Corona takes a touch wide, tries to cross it in. Somehow that stays in. Hernandez did a great job of keeping that in, keeping that from becoming a corner. There hasn't been a lot of corners tonight on either side. So now Stevenson's going to do the Sagi Hirsch special for the Revolution. Goes in. It's headed out by Potros. But Stevenson was able to flash it back across. But again, deflected out as he still has it. And now Lima looks like he's won it. But now, still fighting over there. It's impressive by Lima, and the Revolution come out with it. Oh, Rose tried to backheel it to Martinez. But it just wasn't in the right spot. That would have been awesome if it came off for the Revolution. But it's going to be a Revs throw now. Kick long. Newman's there for the Revolution. Settles it down. Kicks it back in. Finds the feet to scare it, but it bounces weird. The Revs still have it as they go wide to Rose. Rose has got options. He flashes it to the penalty spot again. Looked like it might have been a corner kick, but I think it was saved. Flicks it backwards. And that goes out for a goal kick. Roar. It's going to find EJ. Back to Roar and Hernandez. Martinez put the pressure on Verona, but he gets it back to Hernandez. Intercepted by Corona. Rev's got numbers. And somehow Hernandez is able to get onto that. Stevenson. Free kick here for Potros. Mattis. Trying to go long to Dino. Luke Charles is there. But Witten backheels it. Lewis Green there for the Revolution. Sends it back in. Buskirk's going to get it for Potros, though. Intercepted by Scarrett. Palmer has it now for the Revolution. Gets it over to Scarrett. Somehow it's still in there. And Alik Scarrett was able to get a Revolution throw out of that somehow. And that falls for Corona. Corona getting held. No call. Gets it over to Palmer. Palmer takes his touch in, sends it in to Scarrett. Scarrett back to Martinez. Intercepted by Hernandez. But the Revs get back on it. He backheels it. That would have been offside, I believe, if Elaine Scarrett had touched that. Elite Garrett with the throw. Aaron Witten gets a toe onto it for Potros, but it's going to fall to Dino. And Dino tried to get Witten, but Luke Charles is there. Luke Charles still with it. And now it's going to be a Revolution throw. Potros player down, rubbing his knee. I can't tell who that is. Greenberg, but he's back up now. Elite Scarrett with the throw for the Revolution. Roar's there, but it falls back to the Revolution feet. Martinez. Set over to Stevenson. Stevenson takes a touch forward. Finds Elite Scarrett. Elite Scarrett goes back to Green. Green goes long. Trying to find a lane. Too much on that one, though. EJ trying to find Brown for Potros. Lewis Green goes back to Ward. Goes to Green. Green finds Corona in the middle. Corona finds Palmer. Palmer looking to go long to a lane. It's like a Lane and Rose, or excuse me, Marley Stevenson. Looks like Stevenson and Rose have switched spots. Ah, that's a foul. Marley Stevenson pushed him over. They look to go quick here for Potros. They decide not to.
Fans, remember at the Sellers Law Firm, you are more than just a client, you are family. Sellers Law Firm, proud title sponsor of your Georgia Revolution.
Jason Redmond looking to come in for the Revolution at the next opportunity, probably for Rose. Rose a little banged up after that last sequence. Potros is going to make a change as well. Sebastian Ramirez is going to come in for Potros FC. Jason Redmond on as Rose comes off for the Revolution.
Substitution for the Georgia Revolution coming onto the pitch is number 11, Jason Redmond Jr. Coming off the pitch is number 19, Matthew Rose.
Free kick, Buskirk takes. And it's a great save by Ward. It's going to be a corner kick, though. He wasn't able to take it down. Revs got to get quickly. They're going quick now for Potros. Got to get organized. As they send it back in. Lewis Green's there. And the Potros won a handball. Ref says no. Greenberg. It's very chaotic here for the Revolution. Now Sebastian Ramirez is coming in for Greenberg. Witten Flicks it back. Corona's there for the Revolution. Gives it to Martinez. Martinez trying to go long to Redmond. A little too much on that one. Now Buskirk. Over to EJ. Roar. Back to Buskirk. Finds Hernandez. Have another Revs player down, gripping their ankle. Might be Corona. That's bad news. Corona is a workhorse there in the midfield for the Revolution. He's going to continue, though. Buskirk over to Hernandez as we're back underway now. Shamar Palmer almost intercepts that, but somehow it gets to Didino. He finds Matis. Lewis Green, again there for Lewis Green. Sticks a toe out and intercepts that. Gets it to Palmer. Palmer goes over the top. Corona's in. Oh, Corona can't keep it down as Buskirk recovers. Oh, it's a great opportunity for the Revolution. And now Sebastian Ramirez for Potros. So over to Roar. And that's intercepted. Alik Scarrett gets it over. Back to Scarrett. Scarrett tried to toe poke it in. But somehow there's no foul called there. Ref says gets up as Witten has it for Potros. It's end-to-end stuff now. Marley Stevenson intercepts that pass from Witten. It's it over to Martinez. Martinez switches the play over to Palmer. Palmer's got all the time. He goes quickly, almost falls through to Corona, and it goes back to Palmer. Palmer to Martinez. Martinez takes a shot. Oh, just wide of the post. Revs bench loves that effort there.
And we'd like to thank all of our amazing sponsors, the Sellers Law Firm, Buddy Kelly Properties, Inc., State Farm Brian Brakefield Agent, Element Certified Public Accountant and Consultant, Suma Sportswear, Sellers Family Vision, and of course, I Love McDonough.
Ball goes out. It's going to be a Potros throw, though. Jay with the throw. Gets it over to Buskirk. Buskirk clears it long. Lewis Green's there for the Revs. And it falls straight to Didino. This is trouble for the Revolution. Because now Brown has it for Potros. Oh, and Brown just can't pick out the pass right. Ward laying on the ball a little longer than usual. So he gets it over to Charles. Charles tries to go long. Finds Palmer. Palmer gets it over to Corona. Corona's got a lane Scarrett. And Cam Verona comes out and trucks Corona. A lot of Onas there. Verona. Corona. Redmond defending for the Revolution. Buskirk has it. Gets it over to EJ. And that ball goes out for a Revolution throw. Stevenson. Redmond tries to flick it, hoping somebody would make the run, and they didn't. It's going to be a Revs throw. Alik Scarrett with the throw. Ball's in. Almost falls to Corona's feet, but Matis gets it over to Brown. Brown gets it over to Buskirk. Now EJ. EJ dribbling in. And he's fouled by Redmond. That was silly by Redmond. That's going to be a yellow. Yeah. I'm not sure why Redmond decided to foul there. Wasn't really needed.
That's a yellow card on the Georgia Revolution.
Another substitution for Potros as Pedro Valenzuela is going to come in. So it looks like Daniel Rohr's night is over. Buskirk on this free kick for Potros. Put in a really deadly one earlier. Almost scored on it. About ball's in. And Potros score. Revolution just fell asleep on that one.
That's a goal for Potros FC.
Potros did a good job of staying in the game. Revolution couldn't take their chances, and now we're tie game. That ball was flashed back across the face of goal, and nobody was there for the Revolution that time. Lewis Green now for the Revolution. It's over to Charles. Corona finds his way out of that trouble. Try to get it to Martinez. He gets it there. Now Stevenson. That ball's kicked out. It's going to be a Revolution throw. 68th minute. 1-1 between Potros and the Revolution. This game was close the first match of this fall season. Looking like it's going to be the same here. Charles is there for the Revolution. Gets it over to Green. Green gets it over to Scarrett. Scarrett just clears it long. Gets it to Verona. Now Mattis. Hernandez bringing the ball up for Potros. And now the Revs put a little press on, a little pressure. And that's taken away by Red. Oh, they're going to call a foul on Redmond. I don't know about that one. Potros back on it quickly now. Valenzuela loses that ball out. It's going to be a Revs throw. Goes quickly to Lane Scarrett, but it's cleared back out by Potros. Gets to Witten. And then Newman heads it over to Alek Scarrett for the Revs, and he immediately turns it over to Dino. Terrible pass there. Oh, no way. Oh, my goodness. Didinho draws a foul there. Went down way easy there, but ref says it's a foul. Revs got to be careful here not to lose control of the game. Donald Wigbo comes in as Lima's night is over for Potros. Buskirk going to take this again. They scored off the last one. As Ward gets it, he tries to go quickly for the Revolution. He's got Corona out wide, and he gets it over to Scarrett. This could be danger for Potros, but they recover. Verona comes up to clear it out. Luke Charles is there. Heads it down to Martinez. Marley Stevenson wins that. Fighting with Dino. It's going to be a revolution throw. Tried to get it over to Corona, but it falls down to Scarrett's feet. Now Redman. Over to Martinez. Martinez is hit. No call. Still no call. Marley Stevenson. And now Joshua Ward is down for the Revolution in the box. Don't know what happened there. Revolution have Jordan Yang on the bench. Joshua Ward's back up now. Not sure what happened to Ward there, but he's back up now. It's a Revolution throw, 72nd minute. Revs got to get something going here. Last thing they want is extra time and penalties. Potros has it now. Hernandez. Over to Ramirez. Back to Verona. Verona clears it out. Somehow Brown gets his head on that one between two Revs defenders. Stevenson heads it over to Martinez, though. Revs have it back. Lewis Green chips it over. Scarrett. Scarrett has it taken off his feet. Going long, but Stevenson there for the pass. Gets it over to Martinez. Martinez over to Newman. Newman back to Martinez. Martinez just dunks it in the corner, hoping that Shamar Palmer was making a run, and he wasn't. Then Brown heads it up, trying to get into Wegbo. Lewis Green's there. Brown heads it down. Newman can't keep that one in. It's going to be another Potros throw. Scarrett got in front of that, but it still falls to Brown for Potros. So he has it and goes switches. But it's going to fall to Stevenson for the Revs. He finds Palmer. Palmer backheels it to a leak Scarrett. He tries to send Corona, but it doesn't come off. Martinez can't get to that one. So Ramirez stepped in front of it. Or excuse me, Valenzuela stepped in front of it for Potros, but now it goes out for a Revs throw. Newman takes the throw in for the Revolution, goes back to Charles. Charles goes long for Scarrett, and it comes off of Scarrett right off the side of his head. They're still playing on. It's a head injury. Those little stingers hurt a lot worse when it's a little chilly outside than it would normally. Elise Garrett with the throw in for the Revolution as Lane gets up now. He goes long, trying to find Corona, but it goes over. Mattis is there. As Brown heads it in, or, excuse me. That was Jimmy Lee Noel who's come in for Potros. Missed that substitution. Palmer decided to leak. Looks like a leak's going to gear up for a Soggy Hirsch special. And now it's in. Redmond's there for the Revolution, but it's cleared out by Witten. Luke Charles settles that down. Decides to go back to Ward. Ball's ping-ponging around as now Martinez gets it. He gets it over to Scarrett. Chance for the Revolution here. So Leek Scarrett picks it up for the Revolution. He's into the box. And it's going to go out for a corner for the Revolution. Revs have got to take advantage of these opportunities. $13 and change plus stoppage. The Revolution to get ahead here. They also want to make sure they don't open themselves up. Ball's in. Goes over. It's going to be a goal kick. Unfortunately, nobody was there back post because it went right over Verona's hand. If somebody was there back post, they probably could have slotted it in. Now the refs have to get reset. Hernandez. Back to Verona. Goes long. Finds the Wigbo. But Redmond was there, but it gets cleaned up by EJ. Goes out of bounds for a Potros throw. Potros give it to Van Burstkirk. He switches long, trying to find Noel. Stevenson's, or Leek Scarrett's there, and he heads it backwards, still with Potros. He gives the ball off to Ramirez. Back to Noel. Casey Newman calls to Witten. Witten takes a shot. It's too high. Back underway. Lewis Green has it for the Revolution. 80th minute. Hernandez there for Potros. Noel tried to keep it in, but it's going to go out for a Revolution throw. Aleek Scarrett throws it long. Trying to find Corona, but it falls to Martinez, but Martinez hits it right into the spot where all the Potros players were. That was Valenzuela who cleaned that up for Potros, but now it turns over again. Marley Stevenson gives it over to Redmond for the Revolution. Redmond tries to dribble around, but Van Burstkirk's there for Potros. Verona clears it long, trying to find Noel. So Ramirez gets on the end of that one. That falls into a weird spot. Luke Charles is able to clear it out for the Revolution, but that was dangerous as Nwegbo and Danino were there for Potros. Luke Charles had to get it right there, and he did. Ramirez for the throw-in with Potros. Still in. It's cleared out, but it's going to fall to Valenzuela right in the middle. He gives it over to Van Buskirk. Luke Charles heads that out. It's going to fall to Palmer. Palmer still dribbling. Gets it over to Aleek Scarrett. That's cleared out. Noel came off of Noel's foot. It's going to be a throw in for the Revs. Revs got to get a little hasten in their step here. Last thing they want is extra time, possibly penalties. Ball's in. Newman clears it long. Valenzuela steps into that. And now we're going to get another Revs throw. Scarrett throws it in. Newman gets on the end of it for the Revolution, sends it up. Corona gets a touch on it. He's fouled, but no call. Somehow finds Noel. But Scarrett steps in front of it. And he's running. Somehow the ref calls I don't know what he called here. I guess he called a foul for the pick play. As Elaine Scarrett kind of stepped in the way of Noel. I guess that's what he's calling there. Buskirk sends it in. Luke Charles defends it off. Newman's there for the Revolution as he gets it out, but it's going to fall to Ramirez's feet for Potros as he just chips it in long. Ward keeps it in. Revs just kind of walking around. No sense of urgency here. So we're in the 84th minute. As Ward finally gets it off. Luke Charles sends it in. Trying to find Scarrett long. Scarrett almost gets there. Buskirk falls down. Palmer's on it for the Revolution as Buskirk gets back up now. Palmer makes a turn. Goes again. Palmer into the box. Sends it in the middle. Aleek Scarrett's there. Somehow the Revs commit a foul there. I'm not sure what the ref's calling now. It's Mattis. Stevenson hits that back to Mattis. Martinez wins it back. He's getting fouled again. And that's like the third time that Mattis has gotten into it with Martinez. I'm surprised there wasn't a yellow card brandished before then. Free kick here for the Revolution. About to be into the 86th minute. Something's got to give here. See if the Revs can win it late. Luke Charles sends it in. Shamar Palmer heads it down. Emergency defending there by Hernandez. And he gets it out of there. But it's going to be a Revolution throw. Ball's in. Oh, Nuegbo has it. Gives it off to Witten. Revs got to recover here. Dadinho gets on the end of it for Potros. Marley Stevenson defending. Revs get the numbers back. Potros still has it. Now it's turned over. Now back to Potros now. Into the box. Sends it in. It's cleared out by Charles. Another flop by Potros. This time the ref doesn't buy it. So that's going to be a Revolution throw. Dadinho got away with a flop earlier in the match. As EJ tries to pull one there. Ref says no that time. Can the Revs win it late? Ball's in. Gets the Corona. Now Redmond. Redmond's fouled. No call. I cannot believe this. The ref just seems to call everything for Potros late in this match. That was definitely a foul. Now Noel. For Potros. Switches it. It's going to fall to Stevenson. Stevenson's going to get on the end of it, and he's going to get a throw off the Dino. Throws in. Potros is there, but Redmond is going to dink it over to the top. Got Palmer. Palmer, tricky dribbling. And bad pass as Ramirez gets to that one. But it's going to fall to Green's feet. He goes long again. Finding Martinez. But Potros steps in front of that one. 88th minute. About to be into the 89th. Newman to Alik Scarrett. Alik tries to go across, but it's going to be batted out for a Revolution throw. Scarrett again, finding Palmer, but battled away. Newman steps in front of that one for the Revs. Lewis Green and Nuegbo fall into each other. Now Luke Charles. Great step there as Lewis Green clears it. No fouls called. And they're going to call that one, obviously. Valenzuela gets fouled as it goes quick to Mattis. Noel. Alik Scarrett gets that one. Gives it to Newman. Newman gets it over to Palmer. Palmer's got some space now. So he goes long. Oh, and it just goes out of bounds. Got a little English on that one. We're in the 90th minute now. Buskirk gets to Witten. Witten gets over to Dino. That's intercepted. Bad pass by Scarrett, though. It goes right back to Ramirez. Now Mattis. Intercepted by Green. Now Palmer gets it. Over to Martinez. Go long to Stevenson. And that's intercepted. No call there. Interesting. Now goes long. Valenzuela gets it to Ramirez. Ramirez to Noel. Tries to go long over the top. Ward's there for the Revolution. We are officially into stoppage time now. Ward goes long. Corona picks it up in the center circle. And that's a bad foul by Corona. That was awful by Corona. That should be a yellow card for Christian Corona. I'm not sure if he's going to get one, but that was very bad. Coach Morrison's kept a lot of people on the bench, but Thomas Diddick is now going to come in for the Revolution at the next available opportunity. Thomas Diddick was the leading goal scorer for the Revs in the spring season. Can he do some magic? Maybe Coach Morrison playing a little bit of chess, thinking this would go into extra time.
Substitution for the Georgia Revolution
As Palmer comes out.
22, Thomas Buildup. Coming off is number 10, Shamar Palmer.
Back underway now. Buskirk. Ball sent in. Ward's there for the Revolution. Ward goes for the long ball, trying to find Diddick. It's going to fall behind. Hernandez there for Potros. He gets it over to Verona. Verona kicks it high. Doesn't go far. Diddick heads that, but it's going to fall to Ramirez. See, back heels it, but it goes straight to Diddick. Oh, bad turnover. Mattis has it for Potros. Going long to Didinho. Revs recover now. As they go long in. Mattis is there. Oh, that was almost a game winner there by Nuegbo. Revs can't have that happen. They had 3 people surrounding Nuegbo, and somehow he was still able to get his head onto that ball and almost scored the game winner. Not a lot of time left now as the ref has checked his watch. He might call it on this free kick, and we might go to extra time. Scarrett gets pushed over. No call. Danger as Noel has it for Potros. Now Diddick. Diddick goes wide to Scarrett. Scarrett finds his other brother, Leak. And I don't know how that's not a foul. That should be a free kick. They're going to call it a corner, though. Might be one of the last chances of this second half. Nerves at an all-time high now. This could be it for the second half. Let's see if the Revs can walk it off here. Ref stops the corner kick. Ball's in now. Luke Charles was there. But somehow that ball doesn't go in. It'll be a Revolution throw. I cannot believe the ref's still letting them play. And that's it. It's like we're getting into extra time now. So, full time in regulation, 1-1. Got a feel for Revolution as it was just one lapse of concentration on a set piece that really gave the game away. Revolution gearing up for this extra time now. 2 15-minute halves. If you're still tied at the end of those 2 15-minute halves, we will go to a penalty shootout. Penalty shootout will be pretty interesting between these two teams as both goalkeepers are known for stopping penalties. Both these teams will probably want to get it done in extra time.
That's the end of regulation in this United Premier League playoff match. Now we go into 2 extra minute, 15-minute halves. And if we are still tied at the end of that, we go into a sudden death shootout. PK shootout. But we're going into 2 15-minute overtime halves right now. Alright, fans, that's the end of regulation in this playoff match. Now we're going into 2 15-minute overtime halves. If we are still tied at the end of the extra 2 overtime halves, we will go into a sudden death PK shootout. But right now we are going into 2 15-minute extra time halves.
We're about to get underway in the first extra time half. I was reminding you watching, there will be two 15-minute extra time periods. And if we're still all level after those 30 minutes, we will go to a penalty shootout. And we're back underway in the first extra time period as Green gets it over to Corona. Corona to Martinez. Martinez tries to find Didick out wide. But Martinez heads it down to Corona, but it's stolen by Valenzuela. Still with it with Potros. Aaron Witten almost gets on that one, but Luke Charles sends it out. Falls to EJ. Luke Charles heads it. It's going to fall to Mattis. Toe poked away by Redmond, but it goes to Didino. He goes long. It's going to fall for Ward. Ward finds Didick. Diddick's by himself. He's got some space. Didick goes to Scarrett. Scarrett back to Green. Green over the top, trying to find Elaine Scarrett, but doesn't fall. But Didick cleans that up for the Revolution. Lewis Green chips it over top. Buscart's there for Potros, but it goes straight to Corona. Oh, Corona tried to flick it to Elaine Scarrett, but it's intercepted. Now Marley Stevenson picks up that ball for the Revolution. Tries to find Scarrett too. Scarrett stopped the run. Waiting over to EJ. That ball goes out. Stevenson. Finds Corona. Corona's pushed over. No call. Lewis Green taps it back to Ward. Ward back to Green. Green gets it over to Aleek Scarrett. He tries to find Corona. Oh, Corona tried to flick it to Didick, but Didick stopped his run. Verona kicks it long. Loose Green connects with that, gets it over to Didick. Didick settles it down. Didick gets it to Redmond. There's no way he's offside. Absolutely no way. No way. He had to run past the Potros defender to get to that ball. But it is what it is. Buskirk now with Potros. That's a bad foul by Noel. Free kicks in. Going to Corona. Corona settles it down. Still into the box. And Potros is able to toe poke it away, but that is going to be a corner. Into the 95th minute. 10 more minutes left in this first half of stoppage. Corner kick coming in for the Revolution. Goes high. Wasted effort for the Revolution, but it will be a Revs throw. Ball's back in. Elaine Scarrett trying to dribble through. Didino's there for Potros. It's going to be another Revs throw. Marley Stevenson looks like he's going to do a Soggy Her special. Ball comes in. Casey Newman flicks it backward. Ooh! Elaine Scarrett tries the scorpion kick. Bicycle kick, excuse me. And yeah, he hits Hernandez in the face. Dangerous there. Verona. With the kick. Ball's back in. Luke Charles. Redman dips it over the top to Scarrett. Scarrett's offside. Buskirk sends it long. Luke Charles there for the Revolution. Falls to the feet of Witten. Newman deflects that, but it goes in the path of Valenzuela, and it's fought off by Didick, but still in Potros' hand as Ramirez gets it over to Noel. Noel tries to go back to Ramirez, and that was almost dangerous. Verona sends it to Buskirk. Buskirk taking his space. He finds EJ. Somehow that stays in. Missed by everybody there, but Ward's there to pick it up for the Revolution. Falls to Didino. Didino gets it to Witten. Witten back to Didino. Try to get a foul there, and Lewis Green picks it out of the mesh, gets it back for the Revs, sends it to Didick. Didick dribbles around. Didick tries to switch it, but Valenzuela steps in front of that one and wins it back for Potros. Potros, as Buskirk has to clear that one quickly. It's kind of a weird pass. Newman to Charles. Charles gets it, but Nwegbo's there for Potros. Nwegbo nearly won it in regulation for Potros. As that ball sent in, Marley's got to deal with it, and he does. Still in, though. Now EJ. EJ sends it back post. That ball's out. Lewis Green gets it for the Revolution. 99th minute. We'll go to 105. We'll take a short break and switch sides and do another 15 minutes. He's trying to find Martinez wide. Valenzuela. It's over to Ramirez. Trying to find Mattis. That's going to go out for a Revolution throw. Green. Green goes long, trying to find Martinez again. Too much sauce. So Verona picks it up for Potros. He throws it over to Buskirk. Hernandez over to Noel. Noel flicks it, but Lewis Green picks it up for the Revolution. And that one went out. It's going to be a Potros throw. Ball's in now. Lewis Green. Nwegbo. It falls to Nwegbo. Nwegbo will take a shot, but he gives it off to Witten. Witten gives it to Dino. Danger for the Revolution here. He gets it across. And Potros score. Noel. Back post. Not good for the Revolution as they fall asleep again. Revolution have got to change things up or their season will come to an end. A very promising season. They got about 20 minutes of regulation left to even it back up. I remind you, the Revolution played a famous U.S. Open Cup qualifier at this very stadium against Georgia Storm a few years ago. And they had to go into extra time in that match because they let a goal go the very end of regulation to tie it up as they were winning. And then they let a goal very early in extra time, just as they have here, as the Revolution have a chance here now. Redmond's going to he's going to kick it there, but it's not going to have the power. But same instance, Georgia Storm scored early in that extra time period, and the Revolution ended up tying it up with the last kick of extra time and won in penalty shootout in this very same stadium. So it's a never say never for the Revolution in this stadium at least. But they're going to need to do some extra work here. Scared over to Newman. It's going to fall to Nwegbo. Corona's going to pick it up for the Revolution. Gets it over to Scarrett. Scarrett tries to go long. But he can't find his brother. EJ pulling it up for Potros. Corona picks it up for the Revolution. Now Newman, he's fouled. Redman. Corona backseals it back to him. Now Corona has a chance here. He's got space. Chips it in. Oh! Diddick tries to head it in, but it goes off the football goal post. Almost evened it up there. About 2 minutes left in this first half of extra time. Ball sent in. Headed back by Didino. Luke Charles is there. He flicks it back. Didino still with it. As Lewis Green has to make a tactical foul there. I'm surprised he doesn't get a card. It looks like he's gonna talk to his assistant ref here, see if there was a handball. The refs think there was a handball by Didino. Potros can effectively put this game away with a goal here. Revs have got to stop this if they want a chance, as we are in extra time of the first half of this frame. Buskirk on the ball for Potros. Ref sorting out the wall. Probably the last kick of the first period of extra time here. Buskirk sends it in. Ward is there. Ward's going to try to go quick. And he doesn't. He holds it back this time. He goes short to Luke Charles. Luke taking it up. Switches play. But it's not. It's going to might fall to Alik Scarrett, but it doesn't. Witten clears it out, but it only goes as far as Martinez. Martinez turns, gives it over to Redmond. Redmond tries to go, but it bounces off Potros and the Wegbo. Dadinho. He's fouled by Stevenson. Buskirk kicks it in. Ward taps it over to Charles. Ref giving a lot of extra time in this first period. Goes long to Redmond. Redmond tried to find Martinez. Foul for the Revolution. They kick it long. And that's the end of the first period of extra time. Georgia Revolution have 15 minutes left to save their season. One loss in the season. Undefeated for most of it until the final second to last home game. Let's hope they don't spoil it here in the first round of the playoffs. They can't seem to win a playoff game in the UPSL. See if they can switch their fortunes here in the second half of extra time. We are set to get back underway. As Casey Newman's night is over for the Revolution, as Vitaly Bosovic comes in.
Substitution for the Georgia Revolution. Coming on is number 9, Vitaly Bosovic, and coming off is number 24, Casey Newman.
And we're back underway. Revs have 15 minutes to save their season. Try to take this into a penalty shootout. Ball's pinballing around there in the center circle. Mattis comes up with it for Potros. So he goes wide to Noel. Noel's the goal scorer in extra time for Potros. It's going to be a goal kick for the Revolution. Ward gets us back underway now. So he gives it to Charles. Charles goes long. It's intercepted by Buskirk, but it falls to Ricky Martinez. He gives it to Corona. Now Lewis Green. Green to Scarrett. Back to Green. Oh, unfortunate there for the Revs. Vitaly Bosovic was there. That ball goes out for a Revolution throw. Ball's in. Martinez intercepts that. Heads it back to Corona. Corona gets it over to Alik Scarrett. Alik Scarrett dunks it in, trying to find Didick. Didick's going to get on it, but it's going to fall. Bad touch. Potros back in. Gets it to Mattis. Trying to find Wegbo. Lewis Green tries to clear it. Clears it off the Dino. It's going to be a Revolution throw. Ball's back in. Bosovic for the Revolution. Trying to get it to Redmond. Noel for Potros. Keeps it in. But Lewis Green's going to get onto that one. Sends it to Redmond. Redmond with it. Still with it, Redmond. One too many dribbles as Witten takes that off Redmond's foot, but Redmond gets it back. But it falls to Mattis. Redmond fighting hard. It's going to be a Potros ball. Ramirez for the throw in for Potros. Luke Charles gets it out to Alik Scarrett. Tried to find his brother. It's going to be a Revolution throw. Redmond with a throw. Now he's going to give it off to Alik Scarrett. Alik Scarrett throws it long. Trying to find Bosovic. It's going to fall in the middle. Witten's going to get onto it for Potros. Didick deflects that. It's going to fall to Buskirk. Buskirk goes long. Revolution intercept. Corona gets it now. Gets it to Alik Scarrett. He finds Martinez. Corona to Luke Charles. Throw in for Potros. About 10 minutes left for the Revolution to tie it up. Noel flicks it to Nwegbo. Ricky Martinez is going to intercept it for Revolution. Stevenson chips it up, but Potros is going to win it. Nwegbo gives it over to Mattis. Now Noel. Redman trying to find Bosovic, but Noel's there. Angel Rivera is going to come in for the Revolution. It's Corona's night's over.
Substitutions over the Revolution coming out as number 13, Angel Rivera. Coming off as number 18, Christian Corona.
Ball's in, Noel. Luke Charles clears that out for the Revolution. Ramirez back in. It's going to go out. It's going to be a Revolution throw. Lewis Green to Luke Charles. Now over to Redmond. It's going to be out. Ramirez got his head on it. Ball's in. It's going to go back out for another Revolution throw. See if we get a Soggy Hirsch special here. 8 minutes left for the Revolution. Didinho dribbles that one out. Aaron Witten's night is over for Potros. As Brendan Fry is going to come in for Potros. Ball in, Didick for the Revolution. Ball's cleared out, but Luke Charles is there for the Revolution. Noel and the League Scarrett fighting off here. Cleared by Potros. It's going to be a Revolution throw. Luke Charles clears that one, as that was almost the dagger for the Revolution. As a second mistake tonight for Joshua Ward. Luckily, it wasn't punished. Corner kick for Potros. Corner's coming in. And that's going to go out. That corner didn't stay in. Revs have got to do something now. 5 minutes left to try to save it to a penalty shootout. Potros in control. Redmond gets it for the Revolution now. As Mattis steps in front of that one for Potros. Still with it. That's stolen now. Elaine Scarrett. Taken off his feet. Buskirk clears that long. Redmond can't keep that one as Ramirez clears it long. Marley Stevenson puts it back in, but to nobody. Buskirk puts it right back out. Dedinho now. Green gives it to Ward. Ward sends it to the middle. Diddick gets it. Somehow Diddick's not fouled. Mattis with it. Now Ward. Vitaly Bosovic just clatters into the back. Ball's deflected out. It's going to be Revolution ball. Revolution got to hurry now. Mere minutes left to save their season. Revolution got to get a little pep in their step. I don't know what they're doing here. I know they're tired, but they got to go. It's Martinez, a little nutmeg on Brendan Fry. Loose screen clears it long to Redmond. Redmond gets it. Can't keep the touchdown. Diddick picks it up. He gets it to Scarrett. Scarrett back to Diddick. Nobody telling Diddick somebody was on. Mattis. And that's intercepted by Stevenson. Stevenson still. Now Leak Scarrett. Advantage played. Leak Scarrett still on it. He sends it in. Lewis Green tips it to himself. Tries to get it to Scarrett. Lewis Green's fouled. This could be one of the last opportunities for the Revolution. Thomas Diddick. Gonna take this one. Diddick takes a shot. Just goes over the bar. And that ball went in, but unfortunately it hit the top of the crossbar, so it's gonna be a corner. "30 seconds away. Revolution send it in. That might have been it for the Revolution there. Said the refs are going to add 1 more minute to the end of extra time. One minute left in the Revolution season. And Noel, the goal scorer, is in on goal for Potros. He could seal it here. And he doesn't. Potros tried to get a penalty, and Potros come out with it. Potros still with it. And Ward makes a great save. Yellow card issued to the Revolution. Last chance here for the Revolution. This might be it. Revolution throw in. Ball's in, trying to get to Bosovic. Goes back to Didick. Didick sends it in. Buskirk's there. Ref not looking at his watch yet. Oh, bad numbers for Potros. And Ricky Martinez. What heart. That might have been it for the Revs, though. As they throw it in. Still with Potros. One minute is up. Ref still letting them play, though. And that's it. The Revolution season comes to an end as their playoff woes continue in the UPSL. Great season, regular season for the Revolution that ended in a 3rd place finish in the regular season. Ends tonight as they lose in extra time to Potros FC. Make sure you tune in come the springtime as the Revolution launch another campaign in the UPSL Georgia Premier Division. I'm Justin Murphy, your voice for the Georgia Revolution, signing off for the 2024 UPSL fall season. We'll see you again in the springtime.